Before we enter into the discussion of persuasive speeches, I want to talk about persuasion in general. I think it might be beneficial to just reflect a bit about what we're trying to do when we attempt to persuade. We're trying to change people. Mostly, we are attempting to change behavior, to get people to do something different tomorrow from what they did today. But it's hard enough for any of us to change our own behavior, even if we want to. Think about it. Have you ever tried to lose weight, or start an exercise program, or save money for the future? Even when you have a goal, even when you are resolved to do something different, it's hard to make it happen. It becomes even harder when you try to get someone else to change their behavior. So how does it work? Let's think of affecting behavior change as moving along two tracks, objective or emotional. Let's use that weight loss thing as an example. I can tell you objectively that people who lose 20 pounds have fewer health issues as they age. That may be effective for some of you. On the other hand, I could appeal to your emotions and say, skinnier people get more dates. Both of these are evidence. While they take different forms, they both could support the same claim. Losing weight is good. While most of us probably believe that claim, it's still hard to do. How do we make the evidence stronger? Let's explore the concept of making objective evidence stronger. Could we add stronger words? Instead of saying, people who lose 20 pounds have fewer health issues as they age, you say, people have way fewer health issues. Or maybe you could attribute the comments to an expert and say, the World Health Organization, or Dr. Sanjay Gupta says people who lose 20 pounds have fewer health issues. Or how about making the evidence more specific and say, people who lose 20 pounds lower their blood pressure, which makes them healthier. Obviously, you could combine these techniques to strengthen objective evidence further. So you have a claim and evidence. Is that enough to be convincing? Experts say no. There's more needed. You need to connect the two. It takes logic to connect them. The experts call it a warrant, but I think it's easier to understand if we just call it logic. Roughly, it means that you have to show how the evidence supports the claim. So when you cite Dr. Gupta in support of your claim, you might say, Dr. Gupta knows that losing 20 pounds will help you be healthier because he's a physician who has studied the issue carefully and is a well-known expert. Now, let's discuss the emotional track and see how it can support behavior change. We'll use the same example and the same explanatory model for our discussion. Our claim is losing weight is good. Our emotional evidence is skinnier people get more dates. Stronger language, really skinny people get lots more dates. Who's an expert we could use for emotional support on weight loss? Oprah, maybe? Hard to say. Here's where a personal story might be useful, either your own or someone you know. Though this is an emotional appeal, it's still evidence to support your claim, and it still needs logic to connect the two. In order to be persuasive, you must show how your evidence supports your claim. Here's an example. My brother was overweight and was very unhappy, but he lost 20 pounds, found a beautiful girlfriend, and is very happy. Perfect. Another issue to understand about behavior change is that people are guided by their own personal needs. One individual might want to lose 20 pounds because it would help them get up and out of their chairs easier. Another might want to lose 20 pounds because it would help improve their self-concept and improved job promotion possibilities. These are very different needs. Abraham Maslow, a well-known psychologist, categorized all human needs into a hierarchy of 5 needs, starting with physiological needs, moving to safety needs, then social needs, then self-esteem needs, and ending with self-actualization needs. Maslow's thesis was that individuals must satisfy their physiological needs before they can consider their safety needs. Likewise, individuals must satisfy both their physiological and safety needs before they can consider their social needs, and so forth up the hierarchy. Simply put, for the fella who needs help getting up out of his chair, he may not be persuaded to lose 20 pounds to find a date. In other words, it may be important for you in preparation for your persuasive speech to consider the needs of your audience concerning your topic. One last item in our discussion of behavior change. Big changes are harder to make than a small one. Having said that, sometimes even getting a small behavior change may be too much to ask. You may need to settle for a change in attitude. In simple terms, our attitudes are how we think or feel about something, which may be anticipatory to how we later behave. In the next lecture, we will address persuasive speeches, their preparation, and delivery.